Can you tell us what you talked about?
Just general.
He looks like just a little butterball, doesn't he? Satan's just a little butterball. He's already like returning to the womb. He's like, pudgy little bitch. I'll take him in a fight. I could do it. He interrupted Trump there. Let's see what happened.
Just general.
We talked about the hustle.
Mr. Prime Minister, could you tell me, Mr. Prime Minister, how...
Seems pretty awkward, right? Why did Bibi have to interject and help him out? Try to disarm the tension. He's smiling, overly smiling. Why is Satan
Kamala Harris's
smiling?
remarks yesterday might have impacted negotiations on a ceasefire deal?
Well, we're trying to get one.
Yeah.
And I think
Look, it's a very candid moment, right? Look at what he grabbed his napkin. Well, we're trying to get one. Let's watch that again. Let's just see the lies. This guy is a pathological liar.
well, we're trying to get one. And I think
What was that? You know how like people like touch their face when they're lying? They're trying to comfort themselves, like they grab for something. I feel like he was envisioning that being like his little milky bottle. He was like, where's my banky? He was grabbing for his banky, and he said, well, we're trying to get one. He was like, oh God, the reporter's asking me questions. I'm gonna have to lie some more.
Negotiations on a ceasefire deal?
well, we're trying to get one. And I think
He grabbed the little thing with his name. He's like, well, we're trying to get one. I mean, I'm fascinated by this. This is such a tell for me. He's lying, and he has to grab the little name thing.
Hamas understands that there's no daylight between Israel and the United States. That expedites the deal.
Hamas understands that there's no daylight between Israel and the United States that expedites the
The
deal.
United States, that expedites the deal. And I would hope that
What does that mean? There's no daylight between the Israel and the United States that expedites the deal.
those comments don't change that.
Mr. President, do you have any reaction?
I hope that those comments don't change that much. So he says, I hope that those comments don't change that much. Like that, what I just said, I hope that doesn't change that much. And then he looks back to Trump, which makes me think that, look, I'm making sure that my partnership with the United States is ironclad. It's really quite a revealing moment if you think about it. The fact that Netanyahu has to come to the United States and kiss the ring of all of the ruling coalition members, you know, the people that will be governing the country in the next coming year. Whether it be Kamala Harris, whether it be Donald Trump, he's going to talk to the bipartisan Congress. Doesn't matter, okay? It's a unilateral domination, unilateral control over the entire political system in the United States. But it's also like, is this Dune? Is this when, what's his name, the big fat lardy dude has to go plead before the actual emperor, Christopher Walken in Dune 2? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Is Netanyahu, like, who is that? The Harkonnen? Is Netanyahu the Harkonnen and I forgot what his first name is, maybe you can tell me. But then Trump would be the emperor. Does that make sense? Remember when he's groveling on the floor just before, alright, I'll shut up.
Do you have any reaction to Kamala Harris's remarks yesterday after she met with the Prime Minister?
No, I have no remarks. She's a radical left person in San Francisco.
Radical left person, Kamala Harris. The radical left. So that radical leftist cop prosecutor who just pledged all of her support for the state of Israel. Radical left person? Really? She's a cultural Marxist, that Kamala Harris. This is what Donald Trump does. Remember he called Biden a Marxist? A prosecutor is a radical leftist, right? Yeah. These fucking cops and their radical leftist people. Radical left person. It's amazing.
San Francisco, destroyed San Francisco. She
She destroyed San Francisco. Well, that's because she's from Oakland, right? And we all know Oakland is like the ghetto of San Francisco, so clearly. But Trump loves black people, for sure. There you go. The second reason is always the real reason with Trump, right? It's like, no, she's a radical left person, and plus she was very, very unnice to me. She was not nice at all.
She's really a destroyer. She doesn't know how to build. And,
She doesn't know how to build.
I think her remarks were disrespectful. They weren't very nice. Pertaining to Israel.
She was very mean to Israel, says Trump. Kamala Harris, that radical left person, was just so very mean, so disrespectful to Israel and to Israel's prime minister. What did Kamala say? She pledged undying support to the state of Israel. You know, unconditional support for the state of Israel. Oh, she was very disrespectful. I mean, to her credit, she did mention dead children. The pictures of dead children. Now remember, Joe Biden claimed that he saw beheaded babies. Pictures of beheaded babies. I God never thought I would see the pictures of beheaded babies.
Never really thought that I would see and have confirmed pictures of terrorists beheading children. I never thought I'd ever. Anyway.
Well, it turns out he actually didn't see any pictures of beheaded babies, but he certainly went in front of the American people and lied about it, yes. I guess what I'm saying is, to Kamala's credit, I mean, I almost threw up just saying that, but if I can just get through this sentence, is that she actually did mention the pictures of dead children in her comments about Israel and the sort of position that her administration would be taking. Obviously, it's paying lots of lip service to the Israel lobby. Could be no other way than for her to say all of the same talking points. But with that added caveat at the end of her speech, she then mentioned the grievances and the terrible crimes being committed against the Palestinians. Is that what Trump is referring to as being so disrespectful to Israel? So disrespectful to Israel that she would even hint at Israel's crimes against humanity. Let's see.
You don't know how a person who's Jewish can vote for her.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Trump's doing the classic Zionist trope. Let's conflate Judaism with Zionism. Let's conflate Judaism with the Israeli state. They are two, one and the same. And anyone who is Jewish, how could you vote? I want that Jewish vote. He's such a isn't he? I want that Jewish vote. So I'm going to say this, even though it's not the Jewish vote, it's the Zionist vote.
But that's up to them. But she was certainly disrespectful.
Oh, he's so even-keeled. He's so even-handed. He admits it's up to them.
To Israel, in my opinion.
It's like, I am simping and feigning hard my moral outrage on behalf of the Jewish people. But you know what? That's up to them. It's up to them to decide, but I would be outraged on their behalf because I care.
Mr. Trump, has your relationship with the Prime Minister repaired at all?
It was never bad.
We were always friends, me and Bibi. We go way back. Remember, Trump acknowledged that East Jerusalem was the capital of Israel. Okay, imagine the president of Bulgaria coming to the United States and saying, yes, we now recognize that Washington, D.C. is the capital of Mexico. So, yeah. We'd be like, what the f***? What are you talking about? You know nothing. Shut the up, right? Well, Donald Trump went to Palestine and said, yeah, I know that the international community recognizes that East Jerusalem belongs to Palestine and is the capital of Palestine, but it's the capital of Israel. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. That's not going to be problematic at all.
I would say it was always good. No president has done what I've done for
No president has ever done what I've done for Israel. I'm the best. Of all the friendliest friends of Israel, I'm the friendliest. The friendliest of friendliest friends. I love that he says, no one's done for Israel. No president has done for Israel what I've done for Israel. Meanwhile, every president has done for Israel what you've done for Israel, Mr. Trump.
And we've always had a very good relationship. If I didn't, I have a secret weapon. You know what it is? Sarah. She's sitting right over there.
Hey, that was a good move by Trump. Nice move. Yeah, go. All right, no, don't touch can you stop touching?
As long as I have Sarah, that's all that matters.
Do you feel like after this trip, Mr. Prime Minister, we're any closer to a ceasefire deal?
I hope so. But
I hope so. Let me go fidget with my name here on the card. Really hope so. It's not like I control the whole geopolitical event in the first place, but I'm really hoping. And I love that that's what politicians are so good at. Like even Kamala Ding Dong, how she said that yesterday. She's like, look, I think it's important for us we really need to, and, you are the vice president of the United States. These people are, it's just the feigning impotence, We really need to come together and, no, you are the one in power. They try to make it seem like, oh, we can't do anything. We really hope that the two Nazi flags in the background, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
so we're certainly eager to have one. And we're working on it.
Are you sending teams to Rome?
Sorry?
Are you sending teams to Rome to continue those negotiations?
No. Resoundingly no. Immediately. Absolutely not. Rome is where the Rome statute is. Plus, I'm not welcome in Rome. They'll arrest me. Because I'm a war criminal.
And we're working on it.
Are you sending the teams to Rome?
They're still working on it, okay?
Sorry?
Are you sending teams to Rome to continue those negotiations?
Probably.
Okay. Can you tell us?
I couldn't make that out, but he just, the one word that I made out was the most important. No. Remember famously that the International Criminal Court was forged by the Rome Statute of 1998, I want to say. It might have been 99. Zionists will tell you that Israel is not a party to the Rome Statute. Because Israel did not sign off, did not ratify the Rome Statute of 1998, which outlined the act of aggression, as if it needed any more outlining, I don't know. But it apparently, gives another updated version of aggression, and under international law, it just sort of codifies it. As I understand it, maybe you have other things that you can add to about the Rome Statute, but the one thing that the Rome Statute did was that it formalized the creation of the International Criminal Court. Don't ask me how, that's just how it happened, okay? The ICC was forged by the Rome Statute, and because Israel has never ratified the Rome Statute, they say that the ICC does not have jurisdiction over Israel. They are not a party to the ICC. Therefore, they don't recognize the jurisdiction of the ICC. So this arrest warrant business, you can toss that out the window. That doesn't mean shit. We don't acknowledge that.
Status of the hostage negotiations?
I think there's been some movement because of the military pressure that we exerted.
I think there's been some movement because of the military pressure that we exerted.
I hope that
Again, hope. Just like Obama, man. Netanyahu and Obama, they have the same message, hope.
sufficient movement to get the deal completed.
Mr. Prime Minister.
That's a very tough situation.
I hope that the sufficient movement to get the deal completed.
Again, yeah, just I hope a deal can get done, more or less, is what he says. Trump interjects and says, it's a very complex situation. Remember, the more AIPAC donations a politician receives, the more history that is added and the more complex the geopolitical situation becomes. That's what we have here. Here comes Trump with a nice little save of, hey, this is complex, okay? You wouldn't understand it all right? It's a little too complex for you.
Mr. Prime Minister.
That's a very tough situation. The hostages, they have to be given back immediately because there can be no way that they're in good shape.
And then he glares at Bibi. There can be no way that they'd be in good shape. And then he looks at the person that is the reason why these hostages are in no good shape. Look, everybody sort of is looking at him now, huh? Yeah, there's no reason to believe that because what is Donald Trump implying here? Because look what they've done to the Gaza Strip, and we know that the hostages are located inside of the Gaza Strip, and we know that the Gaza Strip is being artificially engineered for famine-like conditions. So if there's hostages in there that are, whether they're Israeli or Palestinian, they're probably starving and they might even already be dead. And oh, by the way, yeah, a lot of them are already dead. But remember that Prime Minister Antichrist is going to tell us that they rescued 7.
They're obviously not being treated properly.
Yeah, by Israel. Hamas, they're singing them the birthday song and baking them a cake. And meanwhile, the Israeli hostages that do return home are saying, oh, that Hamas was really, those are some good boys. They really treated me very nicely. No, don't say that! Hamas, damn you!
And you hope that they're okay, but there are a lot of hostages, I'm sure, that will not be okay. And that's
Not be okay. Euphemisms, right? Trying to speak, it's not polite to really talk about the actual material on the ground conditions. Well, look, we're having a nice dinner, okay? We're just here to have a little fun, smile for the cameras. Don't talk about all this. It's our dinner time. How would you feel if somebody interrupted your dinner with all this nonsense? The one hostage that actually was like way fatter. It's like, good for him. He was eating well, during the famine. During the famine of 2.3 million Palestinians. The Israeli hostage was seconds, please.
It's just not an acceptable situation.
Did you guys talk about what your working relationship would look like if you were reelected in November?
We don't have to. We've had a good relationship.
We don't have to. We know the script. We know the score. Netanyahu nervously tapping his finger on the desk, on the table.
Israel, better than any president's ever been. And we did so many Golan Heights. We did Jerusalem.
Yeah, the Golan Heights, the occupied Golan Heights.
We don't have to. We've had a good relationship. I was very good to Israel, better than any president's ever.
He was the best to Israel. That's the competition here. That radical left person named Kamala, who pledged unconditional aid to Israel and its unremitting violence against the Palestinians. She's not good enough to Israel. I'm the best. I'm even better than the best. I'm the bestest to Israel that there could ever be. Next question.
And we did so many Golan Heights. We did Jerusalem.
We played all the hits. We played Golan Heights. We played Jerusalem. Okay, remember, like I said, he famously anointed East Jerusalem as the capital of Israel when everyone knows it's the capital of Palestine.
The capital. We actually built the embassy.
Yeah, and then they built the embassy, that's right. Another war crime, what it amounts to. Settling occupied land, literally a war crime.
Jerusalem and the Iran nuclear deal. Unfortunately, the Biden administration didn't do anything. We terminated the Iran nuclear deal, which was a tremendous thing, maybe the best thing that I did for Israel, but unfortunately the Biden administration
It
didn't
actually made the world way less safe.
do anything about it. We could have had a deal 1 week after the election. We would have had a deal with Iran, and everybody would have been happy. But they didn't do anything with it. We had all the cards. Iran was not using terror at all because they didn't have the money. Under the Trump administration, we gave them no money. They didn't have money. Nobody was buying their oil. And now they're a rich country. So
Look at that.
It's too bad. But we would have had a deal with Iran. And it would have been a good deal for everybody, including...
I mean, I bet Netanyahu's like, yeah, all right. This is all lies. That's all right. Doesn't matter.
Iran would have been a good deal, but it would have saved...
He also, basically, Trump started what under any other conditions would have been a war with Iran by assassinating one of their generals.
Give the Middle East, the Biden administration, now she's taken over, and she's worse than him. She's actually worse than him, so we'll see how it goes, but if it all works out, if we win, it'll be very simple. It's all going to work out and very quickly. If we don't, you're going to end up with...
If we win, everything is perfect. The world is perfect. I am happy. But if we lose, let's see what happens. We're going to end up with major
wars
wars.
in the Middle East and maybe a third world war.
If Trump loses, it's World War III, guys. If Trump loses, can you believe that? This man's going to save us from a third world war. Soleimani, that's right, that was the general's name.
You are closer to a third world war right now than at any time since the Second World War.
I mean, that is facts, you know? That's probably the first thing right here, seconds before the video ends and the soundbite is over. The first thing that I agree with Trump about, that we have been closer to a third world, we've never been closer to a third world war than we are right now. What do you think? Would you agree with that? I don't know. I mean, Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962, maybe we were closer there. I don't know. But I'm also going by feels. I mean, how do you measure that, you know? You can only measure that after the fact. But in my vibes-based analysis right now, when I'm in my feelings, yeah, it's like World War III, you know? Sounds pretty unpernt.
We've never been so close because we have incompetent people running our country.
That's right. They're not friends enough to Israel. That's the problem. Because with me, I'm even more friends with Israel. Okay? And I'm more you just heard him say, I'm more adversarial to Iran. Okay? But trust me, if I get in there, me and my best friend Israel are going to ensure that there is no World War III.
Nixon ordered Cambodian genocide. Clinton sent cruise missiles to Sudan, people died. Obama gave the orders to do drone